Alright lads, today I'm going to be covering the Soviet vehicles coming in the upcoming 1.99 patch. This is of course the dev server, so things may change, like this wheel situation. Not sure what's happening here. Don't know if that's how it was in real life, but I don't know what it's doing. So we only have two vehicles coming for the Soviet tech tree. I am of course only covering the air and ground vehicles. I'm not covering ships at all, because I don't play ships, I don't know anything about them. Oh, sorry. So we're going to start with the Su-7B. This is the B variant. Is in real life there was an A variant which was its fighter loadout, but it was really bad as a fighter. So they just made it into a ground attacker and just called it the Su-7B. But coming from its fighter lineage, it does have a very high top speed. I believe it's just under Mach 2. I think it's at 1.95 at a height of 11k, max altitude of 19k, but no one's ever going to go there. It says it has a turn time of 27 seconds. I'm a little bit skeptical of that, especially with a swept wing plane. It seems quite good for a swept wing plane, but I'm not too sure. Now, rate of climb of 195 meters per second, that makes it probably one of the best climbers in the game. Not too sure if that's going to stay that good, seeing as this is a ground attacker. But as it is a ground attacker, sadly it doesn't have any air-to-air missiles whatsoever. It is just CAS and offensive 30mm cannons. Now the guns you do get, I think it's the same as on the MiG-19 PT. It's basically one of the first supersonics added for the Soviet tech tree. Now in terms of CAS, we do have a nice selection of rockets. You have the S-3Ks, the S-5Ks and the S-24s. Now the S-24s are known for their mean potential, it's 80mm of penetration. That is pure HE penetration due to its 25.5 kilograms of TNT filler. But you do get a nice selection of bombs as well. You get four 500 kilo bombs and then four 250 kilo bombs. Sorry, I apologise. So this can be a nice little CAS plane. With that being said, we're going to go into some test drive footage. Okay, so we're here in the Su-7B. You see that we've got our four S-24 rockets. You see that we've got a nice big afterburner here. Now the plane, it does kind of hold its energy pretty well. You can see that we're not really losing any speed when we're doing these rolls. Another thing you can notice that we are getting over G warnings pretty early. This plane does have very good turn rate, which I did think was a little bit of a bug. It did have 27 seconds for a 360, which I think is a little bit good. But the most important thing of this plane, as a ground attacker, it does have a ballistic computer. So we're going to turn it on. Oh, we turned it off by accident, sorry. We're going to come off the wet and we're going to put our air brakes out. We don't want to be going too fast into here. Now coming into a target, I'm probably going to miss the wrong camera. I did hit him, but it did nothing to him. That's a great job. But you can see, it's incredibly easy to use these missiles. And with your speed you've got, you can just zoom out of an area, hopefully avoiding an ADATS or whatever jet it is. In Air RB, it probably will leave a lot to be desired without having any air-to-air missiles, sorry. But it's like the G91R3, its main use is for ground realistic, don't use it in air realistic. As you can see, oh I missed the shot there, but you basically is guiding, just holding your hand for ground attack. You already do have the MiG-21 SMT in the Russian tech tree, sorry, which does bit this, like the MiG-21 SMT does this and more, so it's kind of just a baby version. It's like a MiG-21 and a MiG-19 had a baby. They just forgot to add the air-to-air missiles. Like I say, it's nothing really too special. It's got pretty good manoeuvring energy retention, quite good in turn. See here that we're going to do full elevator, and we are turning pretty well. We're not really losing that much speed. We do over G before we even lose 10 kilometers per hour. So with that being said, we're going to go on to our second tank. Okay, so going on to the second and final vehicle. You can see here it's called the Chrysanthema S. Not really sure how you pronounce that, I do apologise. But you can see it is a rank 7 battle rating 9.7 light tank, or tank destroyer, sorry, located in the Soviet tech tree. Now it is located directly after the Sturm S and the IT. So get research in this branch if you don't already have it. Like I said, it is a rank 6, so it's probably going to cost around 380,000 RP and over $1 million in silver lines to purchase, which does make it quite expensive. Now when we go into the weapons, you do see that we do have the 9M123, which I believe is the same missile that you get. Actually, I'm not too sure. Basically, a tandem charge warhead that's got very high pen. I think it's better than the BMP3s. I think the BMP3 only has 750. Not too sure if it's on the Sturmess. Just check. No, so you're getting a direct upgrade basically. So this is 1,200mm of penetration after. If I believe that's right, I think it has 1,200mm of penetration after ERA. So it basically lol pen anything pretty much. Maybe the Challenger 2 turret might protect it, but this thing seems very, very powerful. You also get the 9M123F, which is basically the same missile but just high explosive. You can see there that it contains 9.24 kilograms of TNT, which gives it 61mm of high explosive penetration. Not really too sure why you'd use this, to be honest. It doesn't have like a proxy charge, it is pure high explosive, so its usefulness, other than memes, it's a bit wasted. You're much better going with a 9M123 for pretty much all enemies. You can see here we do have night vision and thermal optics, which is a nice addition. The vehicle itself does have a pretty low profile. You can sit, as long as you don't have your hull exposed, and I don't think there's anything critical here, maybe apart from your radar. Now this actually is radar. This vehicle does have ground scanning radar. But that being said, there's not much else I can say in the hangar, so we're going to go into a test drive. Alright, so we're here in our test drive, and immediately you can see that we have two rockets on a pintle in the middle. This is based on the BMP3 chassis. So basically, I said that this tank has radar. Not really sure if you can class it as a tank, but if you can lock a target like, hold on a sec, see like that, and we're going to fire, and the missile will basically guide itself onto target. Now this requires no input from me. It's not like the air-to-air missiles where you have to basically lead the target and then the missile will follow your tracer, or follow your pipper, sorry. This is purely, complete and utterly holding your hand. You see it just goes automatically to where you want to fire it. This is a little bit buggy. You see that it's not locking onto this. Not sure if I have to be lined up directly onto it. Yeah, maybe that is. But you can basically just do anywhere. You can aim completely above it. Oh, maybe not that high. You get what I'm trying to say. It's kind of just, I'm not entirely sure why this has been added, to be honest. I don't really see why we need it, but Gaijin obviously disagrees. But the downside is that this radar system, it can't be used against planes. You can only lock onto ground-based targets, which for balance sake, probably, well, it is for the best. You see there, it did kind of go around the tree. I'm not sure if that was intentional or just luck. I don't think it's that intelligent. But as you can see, we do have our, or as you can see, we do have our second round, which is the 9M123F, which is just a high explosive round. We press that. Well, it's going to load it. But while that loads, I'm going to show you the main another thing. We do have thermal vision in the modifications, which we do have in the commander's sight and the gunner's sight. And as you can see, it is second generation thermals, or 1080p thermals, which is a nice addition. It makes this a nice little hunter killer type system. You can basically just sit with your hull in cover with your missile pointing out, like an even more cancerous M901. But with our high explosive shell loaded, it might be a good to use it against this one. Oh, maybe not. Okay, well, you get the picture. It's basically, this one's a high explosive anti-tank warhead, this one's just a HE warhead. I'm going to try and turn it towards the plane. Now, it doesn't lock any planes. Can't use it. Might be able to guide it in manually, but I'm not good enough for that. Nah, I fucked it. As you can tell, it's going to be a nice little hunter-killer type thing. I think it's going to be a bit broken, to be honest. But being based on the BMP3 chassis, sorry, you do have very, very good mobility. Pretty nippy in a straight line. Does it have neutral steering? Yeah, you do have neutral steering as well, so you've got the best of all worlds in terms of mobility, in terms of Soviet mobility at least. But you can't fire the vehicle on the move, which is a downside. Just don't get caught with your pants down, basically. And you do have to be stopped for a few seconds to fire it anyway. Oh, also worth noting is that you cannot fire the gun unless you are within a... You see the pipper turns white, turns red. So you have to be pretty much facing them to fire. And the missile launcher won't even rotate that far to the left anyway. So you do have pretty good traverse to the right, but it won't fire for some reason. No, so you have to be aiming pretty much directly towards it. It's kind of a good thing because you do have to be aiming towards it to fire, or to get a radar lock anyway. But I don't want to waste your time, that's all it is. It's going to be a nice little addition. Potentially game breaking in the right kind of position if you get behind a rock, but going to be an easy kill for any MBT with its APF SDS. So like I said, don't want to waste your time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.